Got a nice little one for you today, just a simple 8-bar Christmas carol, Deck the Halls, and I'm going to teach it to you on the CG Anglo. I've also got the sheet music for the GG Anglo if you play that instrument. There are only 8 bars, and of course there are lots of repeats, so bars 1 and 2 are the same as 3 and 4, and bar 7 is the same as bar 1, so there's not really a great deal to learn, and there's one fairly tricky bar, the rest of it is pretty straightforward. This is my CG Anglo. It's a Frank Edgley instrument, very, very nice instrument. This is a 30 button iteration of the instrument. The middle row is the C row, and the row nearest to me is the G row, and the row furthest away from me is the accidental row. And you need all 3 rows to play this tune. In the first bar here it says crotchet equals 80. That's a tempo for your metronome. Obviously play it as slowly as you need to. So here we are in the first bar, and the right hand side goes like this. Now you can see you've got 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's pretty straightforward, quavers, apart from this first pair where you have the dotted quaver, semi-quaver, but I mean, everyone knows this tune, don't they? I don't think the timing will present too many problems to you. All of the notes on the C row in this tune will have normal heads. So the whole of this section is played on the C row, both hands. The right hand side here we start with the note G in the space above the stave, finger 3 push, it's button 8, which is the 3rd one down, and then without repressing the button you just hang on to that button, pull out and you get the note F. So there's your first 2 notes, and then you do the same thing on the button above, button 7, which is E and D notes, and then you come to button 6, first one down, finger 1 push will give you C, button below pull will give you D, finger 2, and without repressing push in to get E, and then come back to the C on button 6. So it's push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, push. So that's fairly straightforward. You've got the chord of C written above just to remind you what you're doing, and to get that chord of C we're not going to do the dreaded part, we're going to do this. It's like a C5 chord. It's a C and a G, so the 1st and 5th of a C major chord. It's buttons 1 and 2 on that C row, fingers 4 and 3. You can only hold it for a dotted quaver because you've got to pull out on the other side. And then just for a quaver second time. But it's pretty obvious, I think. It's quite stark, but it's quite nice. It's got that lovely modal feel to it. Right, that was bar number 1. Bar number 2 goes like this. You can see that the notes here are semi-quavers. They've got 2 beams, so they're twice as fast as the quavers. This is going to be counted 1 and a 2, a 3 and 4. This is the fa la 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 la. So pretty quick this bit. You've got button 7, finger 2, pulling out to get the D. Without repressing, push in to get the E. And then it's the button below, so it's button 8, finger 3, pull. Still pulling, come back up to button 7 to get the D. So you've got pull, push, pull, pull. Like that. So when you see this dagger on my music, it means just hang on to the button, don't repress it. So that's the first beat of the bar. And as you play those notes, the bass line for that is, it's the same buttons you played in bar 1, but pulled out. So you have a G and a B. Okay, these 2 notes here, G finger 4 and B finger 3. So same button, same fingers, but pulled out, and you can only hold that for a semi-quaver because immediately you've got to push in for that E on the right hand. Now the second beat of the bar, you've got that dotty quaver, semi-quaver again. It's button 7, finger 2, and then you come to button 6, and it's push, pull, push, and this time, okay, is the same button because it's fairly slow. I tend not to use the dagger technique. I actually repress to get C, B, C, push, pull, push on button 6. So 1 and a 2, a 3 and 4. That gives you. Now, like I said, for that first part of the bar, the bass line is a G and a B pulled out to go with that D, only on momentarily, and then on beat 2 you go back to pushing to get the C and the G that you had in the first bar. Again, it can only be held for that dotted quaver, and then on the end as you go you simply push, pull, push on those buttons. So it's very, very straightforward. It's the same buttons, same fingers, either pushed or pulled. So there's our first 2 bars. Pretty straightforward. Now, like I said, bars 3 and 4 are the same. So we could do those 4 bars now, couldn't we? Pull your bellows out a little bit before you start. Notice how I play the instrument. Me personally, I put the right cheek of the instrument, right end of the instrument on my right leg. The left end is floating free, but you know, you can reverse that, but don't put it over your leg because you'll wear your bellows out doing that. So that's the first 4 bars, and it's just bars 1 and 2 played twice. Now the hardest bit coming up, bars 5 and 6, especially bar 6 is quite tricky. Let's look at the right hand side of the tune. So pull, push, pull, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Right, it's button number 7, finger 2, pull. Same button, hence the dagger pushed in to get the E. So D, E, dotted quaver, semiquaver. Go to the button below, which is button 8, finger 3, pull. And then the button above, finger 2, pull. That's F, D. And then second half of the bar, same button you just played, finger 2 pushed in will give you E. Button below, finger 3 pulled out will give you F. And then just press in again on the same button to get G. And then the button above, finger 2 pulled. So play that slowly. Okay, you've got a bit of a guide of what the chords are on top. That's really more for somebody playing along with you, not specifically what you're playing on the instrument. And again, you've got this same buttons you've been playing, same notes. So on the pull it's G and B, on the push it's C and G. Just watch where it comes with the right hand. So it's like that. Right, now comes the hardest bar of the tune. Now let's do the right hand first. Right, it starts with 2 semiquavers and a quaver. So push, pull, push. It's E, F, G. So button 7, finger 2, push. Button 8, finger 3, pull. Then pushed. So that's counted 1 and. Okay. So the last note is a dagger note, so you don't have to repress. As you play that first note, you've got your old friend, that C5 chord. So not too bad so far. But then you've got to move down 1 position. So far we've been in this, what I call the first position. Now you're going to move down 1 towards the floor. So finger 3 should be on button 9, and when you pull out you get an A. Go to button 10, finger 4 still pulling, you'll get a B, so you go from an A to a B. And then notice this note here has got a diamond head because it's on the G row, and it's button 8, finger 2, so the row nearest to you. So you've gone from button 9 to button 10 on the main row, on the C row, pulling, and then you go to the G row, the row nearest to you, button 8, finger 2, still pulling. The whole of the rest of this bar is on the pull, so that's all on the pull. And as you play those notes, you've got this funny little kind of L-shaped chord. with the left hand side. Now you have a D on the C row, which is finger 1 pull. You've also got an F sharp, which is got a diamond head, so you know it's on the G row. It's button 2, okay, finger 3, so you've got button 3 finger 1 main row, button 2 finger 3 G row, so finger 1 finger 3 as you play that. So essentially you're ending up with a kind of a D7 feel to that. The trick is to go from this to that, and that's quite tricky. Takes a bit of practice. And then to finish this bar, you're going to play button 10 main row, finger 4 pull. That's the note of B again. We've already played this once in the bar. Come back to button 9 finger 3 pull. That's the A, quavers. So this is going to be 3 and, okay, and the final note of the bar is on the accidental row. Now if you've got a Jeffries layout like mine, it'll be button 8, this third one down on the pull, finger 2. If you've got a Wheatstone layout, and they are more common I suppose, it will be button 9. It'll be this one here with finger 2. But for me it's, if you've got a Wheatstone layout, it'll be, and then button 9. I won't play it because it won't give me the right note. And to go with those last 3 notes of the right hand, the left hand alternates from this shape you're used to on buttons 1 and 2, fingers 4 and 3 pull, the G and B notes, round to that funny L shape, the F sharp and the D, and back to, so you're going to go, you've got to be quite quick there to go with. So that bar, like that. I said earlier that bar 7 was the same as 1. You come up 1 back to your original position. And here's the last bar of the tune. Now again you've got semiquavers, that double beam. It's button 9 finger 4 pull, that's the note A. 1 and that's how you count that. And then you've got button 8 finger 3 push, then pull, dotty quaver, semiquaver, and then you've got button 7 finger 2 push, then pull. I tend to replay that rather than use a dagger technique, and I end on the note C, which is button 6 finger 1 push. 1 and a 2, a 3 and 4. Okay, now look at the chords on top. F, C with an E bass, C, G, C. Right, so how do we achieve that? Right, on the left hand side you'll notice you've got an F note and it's got a strike through, so you know it's on the accidental row. It's in what I call the bottom corner of the instrument, which is down here. So it's button 1 accidental row, finger 4 as you play those, okay, 4 A's on the right hand side, so that's your F chord. And when you do this, you play the same button on the left hand side but pushing in gives you an E. So essentially you're conjuring up a C with an E bass there. And then to finish the tune, it's your old friends, the C5 chord, same buttons pulled out, and the C5 chord. So the last 2 bars of the tune, and then you repeat as many times as you want, and it's as straightforward as that. It's 8 bars played over and over again. Let's see if I can give you a complete performance. One thing you will need to think about is the air button when you play this tune, because okay, you can pull the bellows out, so you've got plenty in them to start with, but you rapidly start losing air. When I play that first note in bar 2, I always use the air button to get some air in. Again here, see? And maybe on that B there, one but last note of bar 2 and bar 4. See? That's all right, that bit. And maybe you need to do it on the one but last note of bar 8. Just a couple of times there. Operate that air button as you play the note. Obviously when you do that you have to pull a bit harder so that your audience doesn't hear that drop in the volume. So a nice little tune to play, lots of nice technique to pick up on, even though it's 8 bars only. So I hope you enjoyed learning this one. Merry Christmas to you when it comes, and you'll see me in my next video.